Hello and welcome back. This is Mr. Everett, and in this lesson we are going to practice identifying proportional relationships, and we can apply what you learned in the first lessons. Let's get started. So we have two problems here with tables. Excuse me. So it says, which of the following statements is true about the table? Choose all that apply. And same thing for number 2. All right, for the first one, we can see that it passes through the origin. So A is true. And the next two just want to know if it's constant or non-proportional. So if it's a constant relationship, that means it must be proportional. So let's see if it's proportional or not. Well, it doesn't matter if we multiply to 0. So we got 4 times 4 is 16. We do it a couple of ways, actually. We can do 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and then check 4 to 8 and 6 to 12. That gives us 16. That gives us 16. That gives us 48. That gives us 48. So they are proportional. Excuse me, because they are equivalent ratios. So it's a table full of equivalent ratios, therefore it is constant. It is proportional. So the correct answers would be A and B. Number 2 says, which of the following statements is true about the table? Are they equivalent? If they're equivalent, then if the ratios are equivalent, then that means it's proportional or it's not proportional. So let's take a look here. I'll try 4 times 2 gives me 8, but 2 times 2 does not give me 6. Sorry, you can't read my handwriting. Try that again. 4 times 2, 2 times 2 does not give me 6. So it's not constant. So it says, which is true? This is true. It's not constant. It's not proportional, and it's not equivalent. So the only thing that's true about this table is C. It's not constant. It's not proportional. All right. Number 3. A chocolate chip cookie recipe calls for 1 part sugar powder to 4 parts flour. Melissa added 1 cup of sugar and 2 cups of flour. Which of the following is true about this scenario? Choose all that apply. All right, so we just want to know if 1 to 4 is proportional or not. 1 to 4 is proportional to 1/2 to 2 cups. So the recipe calls for 1 part sugar to 4 parts flour. Melissa used 1/2 cup of sugar and 2 cups of flour. Is that proportional? Well, if you multiply 1 times 1/2, you get 1/2. If you multiply 4 times 1/2, you get 2. So yes, it is proportional. So that's not true. Let's go back and see. It says what's true. 1 to 4 is proportional. Not proportional is not true. It is constant. So the answer would be A and D. Okay, I can't see my clock here. Happens every once in a while. So we'll just do 1 more, then we'll finish up. At the beginning of her trip, Karina drove 195 miles in 3 hours. After 5 hours, she had driven 325 miles. Which of the following is true about this scenario? Choose all that apply. Okay, a couple of ways you can solve this problem. There's several ways. I think I did 2 ways here. All right, so we want to know if 325 fifths is the same as 195 thirds. Are they equivalent? Well, if you cross multiply, you get equivalent cross products. So that's one way. Another way, we could have simplified 325 to 5 and got 65 to 1, or 65 miles an hour. And we could have simplified 195 thirds and got the same thing. So they both simplify to 65 to 1. So it is proportional. So not constant is not true. Let's go back and ask. It says which one's true. And I always go back and double check because sometimes the question says which one is not true. So it is constant. And they are equivalent. Not proportional is not true. So the correct answer would be B and C. All right, we're going to stop right here. And we'll finish up. I believe we have 4 more problems on the rest of this lesson.